Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at the best teams for the Sunshine Cup. Yes, I am a day late, like the cup is already around for 1 day, but I actually had everything prepared already before, I just wasn't able to finish it in time. So today we're going to still take a look at the top 10 teams for the Sunshine Cup. And I will try my best as well to get the top 10 teams done for the next cup that's coming up as well. I think it's going to be Great League again. I don't know if there's going to be anything else going up. And also, one question for you is, are you currently playing the Master League with the Mega Pokemon? Just interesting if I should showcase some stuff towards it as well. I feel like currently it's a little bit awkward to play in this cup because some people already have the Mewtwo, which is a bit unfair. But anyway, let's take a look at the Sunshine Cup, of course, if you enjoy those videos and if you enjoy the not so regular content, which I do because I enjoy the content still. Yeah, just feel free to subscribe to this channel. Otherwise, just don't. It's okay. I can survive. But can you survive without my top teams? That's the real question. As we're gonna start off, of course, with the team number 1, where we're going to have a team around Toucannon. Toucannon is really cool in this meta. By the way, Sunshine Cup, only a certain type of Pokemon are allowed. I think it's Fire, Normal. Mostly you're gonna see some more. I think it's Grass as well, and something else. Anyway, you're gonna see it in here anyway. Cool, maybe pull it up in the beginning. But hey, let's take a look here. You mostly know it anyway. You can go, by the way, onto the game itself, and it even shows it to you there which types are allowed. Not that important. Anyway, we're going to take a look at the team in the beginning, where we're going to take a look about at Colossal. Colossal is, I think, ranked number 4 or something for this meta, which is quite high for Pokemon that don't really see otherwise. And I have to say, personally, I have no idea why this Pokemon is directly that high. You have the alternative option to go for Macargo, which in my opinion generally is better, but Colossal is quite difficult to remove from the field. This Pokemon is quite bulky, so maybe has some potential there, and I kind of want to definitely try it out. But here we have a team of Toucan Elite and Third. Third has the option to go for Trailblaze in this meta or for the Brick Break. Brick Break going to be better against other normal type Pokemon, while Trailblaze going to be better against a lot of the ground type Pokemon that are going to be available here as well as water type Pokemon as well. Yeah, ground is another type that was available. I think it's just the Pokemon that I boosted by the sun, weather, plus normal type Pokemon. I think that's kind of the rule set for this meta. But yeah, this is going to be team number 1. Quite simple. We have Elite that's going to be good against Fire type Pokemon. There are not that many Fire type Pokemon. We're going to talk about this today here as well. And then the Say-Stop that kind of baits it out, and then the Colossal in the back to kind of get rid of whatever the Toucan doesn't want to face. Alright. We're going to have a team here around a ground type Pokemon, which is going to be the Clodsire. Clodsire got buffed a bit this season. Earthquake does a little bit more damage, which is kind of nice. But we have here the combination of Clodsire, Ferret, and the Bombersnow. Bombersnow is going to be weak to the fighting type moves, and Ferret as well, which again we have Clodsire Fort. Again, it's mostly not that important. But Clodsire is maybe weak against like water and ground type Pokemon. And here's where it's kind of cool for this team. We have the option to go for a soft answer as a Say-Stop with a Trailblaze Ferret, or even the Credilli, which does not do a lot. Like, it does do some grass type damage, but takes a little bit to get to the grass type moves there. But like both of them going to be great Say-Stops here for this meta. And then back to the Abomasnow, I think Abomasnow is a very, very cool Pokemon. It's very much underrated, and it's got buffed this season as well, with Energy Ball being quite a bit faster to be reached, and this kind of helps Pokemon out quite a bit, as it allows it to be a better answer against those water type Pokemon. While yes, generally you would be a good answer because they're grass type, but actually sometimes even against like Pokemon like Feraligatr, the 2-shit scenario is a bit awkward if they outspeed you just so much faster. Like, so it's so much easier for them to go to the moves. They still outspeed you, don't get me wrong, but it's not that they're going to be able to bank up multiple moves against you. You're going to be quite close to their pacing. And yeah, here we have the alternative option to the Colossal, and we have a very similar team. But yeah, of course you can have Colossal here for the lead as well, but here we have the kind of the reverse team. I do like Gust, Twister, Air Cutter, Pidgeot, or I actually like more Gust, Air Cutter plus Brave Bird. It's actually more what I like. Twister's alright. Twister's kind of cool in this meta though, so like I don't hate it. The main reason why Twister's cool for this meta is because you have Pokemon like Colossal and Macargo, which you're going to be able to hit for neutral damage, which you would otherwise not do. But I do like the Gust version most. It is actually not recommended, but Gust got buffed again, so like it's just a good Pokemon. It's just such a strong Pokemon. I would really recommend you to try it out. Fearow, just quite nice neutrally as a Say-Stop. But you can use other Pokemon there as well. You can go for your trusty Ferret again, but I don't really like to have a double fighting type weakness. So like that's kind of it there. Otherwise, Oranguru is always going to be a good Say-Stop as well. The Oranguru is, by the way, one of the safest Pokemon in this meta. There's next to no hard answer for this Pokemon. We have one actually for it still coming up later though. Okay, we have Gligar. Gligar's cool. Glaiga is a fantastic typing here in this meta, and we have it here with Dunsparce, which of course has a buffed Drill Run this season, as well as a Rangoro in the back. Rangoro is just so safe, which you're gonna see as well. There's no single Pokemon that really is good against the Rangoro. Like, a Rangoro is such a safe Pokemon, where Glaiga, for example, is a very cool answer to it, because you have a lot of bulk and you have Night Slash, which is super effective to it. So like, that's going to be a very solid matchup. Otherwise, there's not a single Pokemon I really fear here. Third maybe. Could be a little bit of an awkward one, but he's still gonna have a very nice neutral play with the Elite. And so, like, I do not think it's going to be that difficult for you to play against this Pokemon. Credilli, and we have the Ninetales, and we're going to have the Oranguru. Apparently Ninetales is the best answer to Ninetales. Fantastic information here. It's because we're running Energy Ball, I like to have Grass-type lead and then, like, Sace up Ninetales, because you're going to be able to bait out those Ground-type Pokemon. To be fair, there's most a Pokemon that is better at the back than Oranguru that can utilize getting rid of those Ground-type Pokemon. You could do something like the Turtnite as well if you want to have another very neutral Pokemon. There are a lot of different options though, like there's quite a lot of different options they can run here. That's a team that I just like. I think Oranguru is fantastic in the meta, and Oranguru pairs really well with Credilli's weaknesses, so that's kind of why I decided to put those together, and that's why I decided for this team. Alright. Next up, we're going to have here Piloswine. Piloswine, a regional winner this season, which is kind of hilarious. Of course, not a limited meta, but in the normal Open Great League meta, which is interesting. One, I think this will be a regional event with Polasha using it. And now it is back. And this Pokemon is kind of funny here. It's kind of cool because it's kind of a Core Breaker. It's kind of good against a lot of the flying and the ground type Pokemon they've seen already, as the ice typing itself is something that a lot of people just don't really prepare enough for it. And so I do like this Pokemon quite a bit. And Fear Sace Up, I do think that Fear Sace Up is cool because you have the ground type coverage move here, and especially if you have a ground type in the lead, a lot of people just try to, swap into their Pokemon that's usually doesn't want to face ground types, and then you're going to have that. So, this is going to be very cool here, especially with the Turtnite in the back. Turtnite that helps out quite a bit with some of the matchups that you don't want to see with the Piloswine. It's just very good as well against the Oranguru, which are going to be quite common. So, let's take a look here at the next one. We're going to have team number 7. We're going to have the Pidgeot, the Seismitoad, and the Quagsire. And this is going to be just generally, a team that I've been using now for the meta already for the Great League and for also the Ultra League. I think it's one of the best of them all. And so I really, really enjoy this one here. So I think it's a cool team. In this meta, you're going to have a few more Ice-type Pokemon that can be a bit more tricky, that I have to say. But this is going to be it for team number 7. Let's go on to team number 8. Which is great, because one of the best answers to Oranguru in the Obstagoon. Obstagoon is a pseudo fighting type Pokemon. We have an actual fighting type Pokemon coming up afterwards still. But I like this team, and I like the team for reasons that are it just makes me happy, because it's like a perfectly balanced team-ish. It's the type of team that I like to build. Why is it a team that I like to build? I have a lead that is doing a certain thing. In this case, you have counter, you have Night Slash, you have cross chop, you do some nice damage with it, but you have like your certain matchups that you want to have, like for example, like matchups against the Oranguru. But then you have your Sace Up, Glaiga, having access to Night Slash as well, which gives you coverage. It's not stat coverage, but the same coverage as the Elite. So if you bait out like those Psychic-type Pokemon, for example, or the Ghost-type Pokemon, that the Elite is of course would be good against, you're still going to be able to punish them. But that's not only it. There's a Flying-type Pokemon as well that baits out something like a Rock, like something like a Steel-type Pokemon. But you have Dig in order to cover that. And this all allows your Pidgeot at the end to win you the most battles, and that's why I have Pidgeot here with Brave Bird in the back as well, because you don't really need to run the move, that's called Twister, because you don't really need the coverage against those Rock and Steel-type Pokemon, because I feel like you're going to be able to bail out with this team anyway. You have enough coverage with this team. Go for the hard-hitting damage. I like this team. I want to play this team. As spoiled, there's only a few Fighting-type Pokemon. Actually, we have another Fighting-type Pokemon coming up after this one, so stay tuned. We're going to have here the Shadow Blaziken. It's actually kind of fun because I just can do the content that I want to do, and it's quite funny, I feel like. I like it. Anyway, we're going to have Blaziken. Shadow Blaziken is a Pokemon that is insanely frail. It's just insanely frail, but if it hits, it's gonna hurt. If you're not gonna be prepared, this thing is gonna wreck you. Like, this Pokemon is very good as an anti-meta pick in the current meta, and of course you're gonna want to cover it up with a bit of more meta in the Oranguru as well as the Quagsire. Not too happy with the Quagsire in the back. I feel like there maybe could be some other Pokemon as well in the back that could work out quite well as well. The main issue that I have with this Pokemon is the reason that you're not going to be that great against the what's called the Oranguru. And so, because the Oranguru has also coverage against you, it's not too bad either because you're faster, you're gonna do some damage. Like it's just back and forth there. But maybe you have another idea for a Pokemon that could work out in the back there as well. Let me know. Let's go on to the final team, where we're going to have the Colossal, we're going to have the Oranguru, we're going to have another fighter, the Hisuian Decidueye. I think Hisuian Decidueye is an underrated Pokemon in the current meta, just generally. It is frail, but it is even better this season because Energy Ball is now cheaper, so get yourself this Pokemon. It's going to be a fun one. So, yeah, this is going to be just generally team number 10. You want to have here, of course, double grass type coverage with the backline, which will also to help out with the weaknesses of the Colossal in ground and water. Like, you're going to be able to beat those Pokemon with your backline there. And this is going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you then. Bye bye.